Hamtech, welcome back to my videos on the Mac Mini. This one is Intel Core i5 500 SSD, 16 GB RAM, and was manufactured in 2002, late 2002, and it's currently running Sequoia, if that means anything to you. Quite commonly, the operating system that these run is High Sierra or Catalina. They're very upgradable, but look to see that the one you've purchased is upgradable. So to take the back off, you hold your fingers here, and if you look here, you'll see there's, let's turn it around, you'll see there's two dots, and you're moving this dot here to the left by holding your thumbs here and just turning it like that, and then it will just lift up. Like so. And yeah, this one's a bit scratched, but I think you could probably buy one of these second hand. But look, it's a bit dusty, so we'll give that a clean. So yes, it's the first time I've opened it up, but it had my one has been completely upgraded. So I would say it's been opened up before, because we've got a 500 GB SSD hard drive. The difference is with the older style hard drives, you had a spinning disc inside. So with the SSD solid state, there is no spinning disc, and it just works better. So 100% get yourself an SSD. I mean, you could buy one and then upgrade it yourself, because SSDs are only about £30 now. And this is your RAM. So if you were going to plan on changing your RAM, now they are saying ground yourself, but you would just see these here. I'll just zoom into them, to the RAM. Get some light on there. You just pull these prongs apart here and here, and it will just pop up. I'm trying to do this without getting my hands in the way. Better to use like plastic prongs, I would say. So if we just pull here, and you can do it with your fingers, you don't have to use. But look, it just pops up, and there's your RAM there. And just go up and just pull it out. And same goes for the one underneath on. They're two different types. Now normally they recommend you do use the same two, but it seems to be working fine. So we just take the other one out as well. Pop you there. I'll put them back in the same order that they came out, just because I know that it worked. Like so, and there's the RAM out. Quite stiff in there. Obviously, when you put them back in, make sure they go in the same way. So that's your RAM removed. Now we can remove the fan. And I'll give it a good clean as well. So your tool is going to go there, and I've got a whole kit there to find the right size. And the other thing that we're going to need to remove to get to the hard drive, which is under here, is these here. Okay, and yes, the Wi-Fi is tucked underneath there. So let's do it. So we have 3 of these, which we will pop out. They're quite springy. They're on like springy bolts there. I'm just going to try and lift it out and keep everything in place, but there is a connector we need to be wary of. Just in there. I believe it just pops upwards, so I don't want to break it. I've watched a couple of other videos and they say upwards. There you are, it just popped up, and then we can now pick up the fan. Just move that out the way. So we've got the RAM out, the fan out, and now we're going to remove this plate here. Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 there. These two were Torque 8. The other two were said H10. Just put them out the way. Looks like we've got one here to move, so we can get this plastic thing out of the way as well. Quite fiddly to get that one, actually. There it goes. Of course, make sure there's no power going into anything. It's really, it just feels very, very good quality. I think these can get these for like £70 now. It's 2025. It's quite fiddly, but you're pulling it towards me this way. You're pulling it towards you. I'm lifting it up and poking that in there, and I'm sliding it. See, it's coming away now towards you, but quite fiddly. There you are. It's like comes this way because it slides in there. You can see there. Okay, got that out of the way. So now we've got this Wi-Fi shield, which again is sort of going to pull it in the same way. I've left that screw in there, and it is connected via a cable. It is a Wi-Fi shield, so I want to make sure I don't lose that screw. There you go. It's more of a hex bolt. So there's our Wi-Fi. Well, we've got no problems with our Wi-Fi, so we don't really want to disturb that. And we start to see our hard drive now, which is just here. You can see it's been replaced and not been replaced in a way where it can't move, if you ask me. But anyway, 500 GB SATA SSD. SATA is the type of connector that's used here. Most PCs use SATA, even Windows. And I highly recommend you get yourself, if you want to clone, buy a cloner on Amazon. They're about £25. You can clone. If this was the old style hard drive, you could clone it just by the press of a button and then put it back in. Also, normally you'd have like a plastic sort of cover on here, but I haven't got one. So the hard drive is connected just here. Look, like so. And I would say that normally the Wi-Fi is stuck to the cover as well. But luckily for me, it's not in this case. So I can just pop that out now. Pretty good, eh? So let's see if I can just zoom in on that. Let's just pull the connector off. I'm sure you could buy these ribbons. But look, it comes off very easily. And it's only going to go on one way. So there you are. And these, nowadays, £25. And it's going to, increase the speed massively of your device. i5 at the time was a very respectable processor. I don't think you'll get more than 16 GB RAM on these anyway. Okay, took it all apart. Now let's put it back together. I know if you already know what you're doing, just please fast forward. But we're just going to put it back together now. So we'll slide that back on. I'll show you both sides. Like I said, it's a SATA connector. It's really good condition. We know it went that way around because it clipped onto the left one. Cool. I wonder what the right hand one. Oh, I get it. It can hold 2 hard drives. Well, that's worth remembering. So just pop you in there, like so. It felt like it was a bit higher when I took it out, but got some cables here. I wonder if it was under them or below them. I feel like it was under them, over them. Alright, like so, and then just on your left there, just go easy, and it should just clip on easily. It shouldn't be difficult to clip that back on. Okay, and I actually propped some paper underneath it there. Or I could have added another hard drive. Notably, if you did want to add another hard drive, you'd have to buy another SATA connector so you can clip it on just here. Then we'll just fold back this carefully as it was, and line everything up as it was, and then put these screws back in. Well, these are hex bolts, or hex, I think they're 10. You know, the longer ones go here, like so. The dumpier ones sort of go here. When you bolt these two down, they do stick up because they're going to hold the cover, and you have to make sure they get both lined up before you tighten all the screws up. Bit of fiddling just to make sure that both the holes line up well. Right, so the chunky ones are in there, chunky shorter. These are longer, and it looks like they actually screw into the hard drive. Connectors on. So now we're just going to pop back on this shield that was here. Slide that into place. like so. Return those screws. It's quite fiddlier than you think to get that in that little gap, but anyway, that's where it goes. I found I had to sort of bend these fins. I mean, they're very bendable to get that corner in, so I can get the screw in. Anyway, it's in there now. Now we'll get our ram back in. So line up, you've got a groove just here, just line it up with the bottom one, which is quite fiddly because you've got these in the way, but you just push it in and then it clicks. There's one. So yeah, mine one says DDR3 8GB 1600. The other one says, have a look here, not reading everything there, 8GB. Anyone see the speed? Right, well it worked fine, so I'm not complaining. So push that in and down, and then it's the fan. Put that, but we need to get the connector on first. So let's do that. So it pushes down flat. There you go. That felt quite good. And then that's our fan back in place. So we look at the cover, okay, and you'll see what these are raised, and you've actually got a third one at the bottom. So we're just going to put it on with the slightly to the dot to the left, and then turn to the right. Quite a stiff turn, so it's not loose. Let's plug it back in, and what I'll do is I'll tag on the end of this video my Sequoia update, because this was High Sierra. I'll show you the Sequoia. You can do Catalina, but High Sierra Sequoia 15.4 is going to give you the highest Mac operating system. There's Sequoia. There you are, Mac Mini, and it's got Sequoia 15.4, memory 16GB DDR, and we've got the Intel graphics there, 2.5 dual core Intel i5. Thanks for watching. Watch the rest as I install Sequoia, which will give you a newer iOS 15.4. Bye for now. Hamtech, welcome to my videos on the Mac Mini 2012. I've got 16GB of RAM and 500GB SSD, and we're going to upload Sequoia so that we can have a newer iOS and download more apps, and it's free. First thing, go to Open Core Legacy Patcher, which is here, and then on the top right, click the GitHub link. Now, I think you do need to download Chrome for this, otherwise when you go to download the patcher it just cycles, so just use Google Chrome. Also get yourself a USB stick. The smallest is 16GB. This one I've got is like 500, but it's a USB stick. We're going to need that, and when you do plug that into your Mac Mini, you will see a little window appear on your desktop which is sort of like a gold color. So that's gone in, ready. Recommended to be formatted, and this is going to be used to upload the Sequoia 15, let's call it, and then put that onto our hard drive. When you connect devices to your Mini Mac, if they are external, they'll be like this gold color. If they're the internal main hard drive, they'll be the proper sort of silver color. So that's worth noting. Now go to the GitHub link, click here. On the right hand side, look for where it says the latest in green writing that we've got here, then scroll down and you want to click the third one down, Open Core Legacy Patcher. Let's get this out of the way like so, and just click third one down, Patcher. Let that download, takes a few minutes. Yeah, I just saw that. I need to click keep because I'm on Chrome. and you'll see it just downloading here. So wait for that to load. At the moment we are using High Sierra. I'll just show you that. Just up here, click the little apple, about this Mac, and there it is there. That's what we've got at the moment. Okay, that's downloaded. Let's just double click it and then continue. Install, password in, and then install. Shouldn't take too long. There you go. Fast forward and then close. Keep as well. Let's go to our Finder and look for Open Core. Open Core. Enter. Let's go down to our downloads here. There it is there. Double click. Continue. Install. Want our password again. And install. I thought we already had this, but anyway. Yeah, that's all good. Let's look in our launcher. There it is there. Double click Open Core. And now we're going to click Create macOS Installer and then Download macOS Installer. So this is probably what takes the longest. It'll give you some choices, but we're going to choose macOS Sequoia and then click Download. And then back when that is downloaded, I think it's a good half an hour. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, it's now extracting. Right, we're going to go yes, like so. Install macOS 15, yes. And then we're going to be looking for our external disk. That's the one then, ending the word star. And then we're going to go yes, because it wipes the disk. Creating installer. We get the option to use a backup. I'm going to click don't use and then let it, you can see it's still installing now. We are getting there, you have to be patient. Creating installer. Install macOS Sequoia. And remember, my USB stick is still plugged in at the moment, and you can see it just up here in gold. So now we click, it says here successfully installed. Would you like to continue? I'm going to put yes. It does this, and I'm going to put install to disk. And then we need to, now we're going to select the disk, which is my hard drive, the one that my device will, my Mac will boot up from, not the external disk. So we're going to select that and then select again, and then it will write everything, and it says reboot. We want to make sure it reboots from the correct drive. So we now have to select reboot, but we'll have to hold our Alt key down, because when it boots up we have to select the EFI. So let's go reboot and restart. I've got my finger on it already, and you'll see that now we've got the option. We're just going to move over to the left to the EFI and then select EFI. Like so, and then we want install Mac Sequoia on the right hand side, and then click install. There it goes. So now I've got to be patient again. Now we select install macOS Sequoia here and go continue. Be patient. It's not the 2025 device. Continue. You can have lots of RAM and a fast SSD, but you know, the processor can only go so fast. There you go. We go agree, and then agree, and this time we want it on our hard drive, and continue, not on the external drive, which hopefully we should be able to remove soon. I don't want to risk removing it right now. Another waiting game, so yeah, it says here 40 minutes, but after this you'll just be able to go next, and just put all your usual settings in, and you will be on Sequoia, and then I can download an app called Peanut for Hams that I like to use, which needs iOS 15. So just to warn you, it does boot up several times. You know, you're talking like about 4 or 5 times it boots up. Just be patient, leave it alone, go off, have a nice long walk and a cup of tea. When you come back, you'll have the Sequoia screen. Okay, it's all installed, so we're just going to get our password in there. Right, well you can see it's all worked, it's working great. Set it up. Bye for now. All the best. Hamtech. Bye for now.